It's a frosty Thursday morning, and yeah, look at the freeze warnings for tonight. We're glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. Things are looking like that to start your morning too. So we're just letting you know in advance. Brace for it, step out, get your warmest jacket on. On your Thursday, we're glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise, though you may wish that you were rolling back over in bed to start today.
I definitely did when that alarm went off. It was a bit chilly as you head out this morning, but you know what? It's that time of year, so we're trying to transition into the fall weather nicely. So we're going to do maybe a little bit without as much wind today.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Right? That's all we were asking. Just get the wind down. I don't know about you. This morning was one of the first mornings I was really happy I got up at 2 a.m. because I park outside and I could see the windshield in my car was starting to frost over, but it was still kind of wet, so I could windshield wipe it away.
I was worried when you started the sentence. I'm like, I haven't gotten to that point just yet about being glad to get up, but I'm glad that we were able to get the frost off pretty quickly this morning.
You could. Tomorrow morning, it might take a little extra oomph because we're talking about even colder temperatures. But then from there on out, I think we're going to warm up a little bit into the weekend. Not by a lot, but every degree counts this time of year. This morning, we're starting off in the 30s. It's a chilly start. It's 36 right now in Indianapolis. We've got the clear skies area wide. So at least today, it's not going to be cloudy and windy and cold. It'll just be cold because we'll have the sunshine and the wind will be a lot lower. Now, it's not as if the wind is completely gone. You'll notice a couple breezes every once in a while, but we went from gusts about 33 miles per hour this time yesterday morning down to about 10 to 15 mile per hour gusts. So we've cut those in half. But you're looking live across much of central Indiana. This is a closer look in Indianapolis. You still see a little bit of that westerly wind still blowing with the flag on top of the One America Tower. But it is a mostly quiet start, but it is chilly. So 36 right now in Indianapolis, but once you factor in the wind chill, it feels like it's only about 31. So it feels like it's below freezing. It is a frosty start. So we're kind of dipping our toes a little bit towards more kind of wintry weather because tomorrow we'll have that freeze in the morning. So at least we're taking baby steps towards that. And you have one more day to try to bring in some plants that you don't want to get damaged out there in the cold. At least we'll be sunny today. Maybe a few clouds passing on by. That'll be about it. But there'll be a lot of 30s for the rest of this morning. It's 37 in Carmel and Fishers and 38 in Greenwood and more mid-30s from Bloomington to Seymour. So cool start. Bundle up. Let's talk about traffic this morning. You're trying to get the temperature just right as you're headed to work and school this morning. If you're not on fall break, I want to show you a couple areas of construction. This is on the north side. You're looking westbound, but these headlights you see, this is I-465 going eastbound right there towards US 31 Meridian Street. Notice the cones out there. You can't take Meridian Street south right now. That's another 3.5 week project. Got the cones out there. You can go north and then turn around at a roundabout and then go back south. But reminder, that project continues for a few more weeks. And then of course the Clear Path project continues for several more months there on the northeast side, but at least traffic is moving just fine.
Thank you, Matt. Pacers fans, the wait is almost over. The season tips off in just over 13 hours.
It's crazy. It feels like it's just been a month or two since the season ended. The Blue and Gold, though, have a big challenge for opening night, a rematch with their NBA final opponents, the evil Oklahoma City Thunder. Boo. All right, so people are calling this Game 8. What do you think? The teams closed out the last season going 7 games in the finals. And of course, that was a pivotal game where we lost Tyrese Halliburton. And then the injuries that kept Hallie out all season. We know this year, so we will hopefully count on all these new players.
New season, new ball game. There are a few roster changes. Big man Miles Turner is now in Milwaukee. And key contributor T.J. McConnell starts the season with that hamstring injury, so that'll keep him out for a little while. But the players say the team is focused on getting back on the court, starting off the new season on the right foot.
It's past at this point. I mean, I'm ready for a new season, ready to get back to hooping. Excited that training camp is done, we can get to playing basketball.
Super excited, man. Super pumped. We have the best fans in the world, so.
All right, they'll get to business tomorrow night. Actually, that's tonight at 7:30. Oklahoma City, they already opened up their season Tuesday night. It was a game that you watched right here on Channel 13, likely with the NBA back on NBC this year. They did get the win, but it was 125 to 124, so it was a close one over the Houston Rockets, but it was in double overtime.
All right, well, we are looking forward to welcoming them in, of course. All right, well, hey, Governor Mike Braun, he is saying that we are getting close to a vote on redrawing our state's congressional map, but that is not what other members of the party are saying.
Yeah, so his comments come hours after a spokesperson for Indiana Senate Republicans gave a different assessment of where Republican senators stand right now. Marina Silva is following up on this. What's the latest, Marina? Good morning.
Good morning. Well, right now, Governor Mike Braun is set on calling a special session on redistricting. But there's one issue here. It doesn't look like enough Republicans are on board with it. According to Politico, Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray, along with his leadership team, are a majority of the no votes. Politico is also reporting Governor Braun could call a special session to redraw Indiana's maps as early as next week. This comes just days after President Trump held a phone call with Senate Republicans to discuss redistricting during a Republican caucus meeting. When asked about a timeline for calling a special session, the governor still has hopes.
To do it and get the mechanics done, we can't, you could push it and then have to scramble. I'm not going to do that. All I can tell you is we're getting close.
Well, House Minority Leader Phil Giaquinta issued a statement Wednesday saying House Democrats have received what he calls massive amounts of calls against redistricting. Redistricting has taken up a lot of conversations within politics at the moment. Vice President J.D. Vance has also made multiple visits here to Indiana to meet with state leaders about redrawing those congressional lines. Now, these comments from the governor come just a day after a petition was delivered to the governor from about 20,000 Hoosiers saying they don't want redistricting to happen. So we're going to dive into that at 6:30.
Okay, we'll see you then, Marina. Thank you. We also have the latest on the state maps.
Yeah, a commission is now weighing in on whether parts of Illinois could be joining Indiana. 33 counties across the border highlighted in yellow have voted to explore leaving Illinois, as we've been reporting, and they're not necessarily interested in joining Indiana.
Yeah, last night, the Indiana-Illinois Boundary Adjustment Commission had its first meeting. It is made up of 6 Hoosiers with spots for 5 people from Illinois if that state passes a matching bill with us. The commission heard testimony about what this change would actually look like in reality, including one person who says that she wants to form a whole new state.
Unless Indiana is willing to take every county except for Cook County, we wouldn't be in favor of it.
People in downstate Illinois are desperate to get away from Chicago.
And what does that actually look like? It is, again, important to note this is unlikely to happen. It would take approval from Indiana lawmakers, Illinois lawmakers, and then Congress would have to sign off on it, too.
Well, an appeals court granted Richard Allen's attorneys more time to put together their case for an appeal of Allen's murder conviction.
They say that Allen's transfer to Oklahoma has complicated communication with their client. Now a judge is giving them 55 days to file the appellate brief.
Allen is serving a 130-year prison sentence for the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi. In that case in 2017, we've of course followed this extensively over the past 8.5 years. You can see all of our coverage right now at WTHR.com/Delphi. And we now know this morning that a trial date is set for Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez.
It's scheduled for December right now. The 38-year-old is facing felony battery, public intoxication, and other misdemeanor charges after police say that Sanchez was stabbed on October 4th after allegedly attacking a 69-year-old truck driver in a downtown Indianapolis alley.
Now, Sanchez did not appear in Marion County Court yesterday, but his attorneys, of course, did. They say both men are still recovering from their injuries, and that could have an effect on the case. Prosecutors say they're doubtful this case will be ready for trial by December.
The case is progressing normally. We're looking forward to the discovery process. We're continuing to work with our partners in law enforcement, developing facts and information.
So right now, Sanchez is free on bond and allowed to return home to California, and he's been off the air since this incident happened. Well, leaders at an Indianapolis church are giving members a lesson in safety they think everyone needs because of recent incidents across the world. New Direction Church says it has seen, of course, the recent shootings taking place in worships and other sacred spaces, and they wanted everyone to be prepared for a situation they say they hope never happens. They covered basics like exits and entrance of the building, but also talked about keys to responding to a threat by neutralizing or de-escalating. Church leaders say their real hope is for everyone to put their guns down and resolve conflict the right way.
Indiana University is issuing a cease and desist order to a fraternity on the Bloomington campus. And a spokesperson for IU says this decision is after reports of hazing at the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. The university says that at least 2 people were sent to the hospital with injuries. This order suspends all chapter activities pending the investigation's outcome. And that spokesperson also confirms that the IU Police Department did launch a criminal investigation here. We're told the university and the police department will decide what's next, including any disciplinary or legal actions.
Well, members of a group tasked with kind of rethinking or reimagining how public education is managed have 2 months left to finalize their recommendations.
So this group is called the Indianapolis Local Education Alliance, or ILEA for short, and they're learning from other cities. It's a 9-member group. They met last night to hear from education leaders from across the country. They say the goal is not to copy another city's model, but to gather ideas that could help Indianapolis schools collaborate more efficiently.
Now, much of the night was spent talking and focusing on specifically transportation. One parent says that's one of for transportation for his 3 children has been really a constant struggle.
Easier access to transportation for all kids, no matter what school type. It's hard sometimes, and not all parents have access to transportation, and that is a big factor when deciding where to send your child.
So the Alliance can't create policy, but their recommendations could actually shape how Indianapolis schools share the money and space and transportation. The next meeting, by the way, is set for November 19th. A bill that would end the government shutdown, again, fails to pass. We'll tell you how the ongoing fight in Washington is impacting families all across Indiana.
And maybe you've noticed a lot of people are getting sick right now. What doctors are saying you can expect as flu season is officially here.